So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also, you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you. 25-year-old Connecticut man on Saturday allegedly pulled out a weapon on two women because they did not thank him for holding the door open for them. Law enforcement responded to Hamden Family Dollar Store at around 3:15 p.m. after receiving a report that a man was pointing a weapon at two customers outside of the store. When officers arrived, the witnesses told police that a man, later identified as Joshua Murray, allegedly pointed a weapon at the women whom he held the door open for. They told officers he allegedly grew irate after they did not say thank you. When police located Murray, they allegedly found a firearm on him, and when they arrested him, he allegedly interfered. However, nobody suffered any injuries, stated the police. More details about the incident, including the identities of the victims, have not yet been released by police. Murray is being charged with carrying a weapon without a permit, 2 counts of second-degree breach of peace, and interfering with police officers. He is expected to appear in court on August 2nd and is being held on a $25,000 bond. Before the nonsense starts in the comment section like it normally does, I've normally, for those who are stupid and don't like to do their own research, I've normally talked about the things that men can do to prevent a lot of these things from taking place within the community. I've done videos, I've done live streams where I've literally talked about these things for hours, going off on the black community about these things for hours. But yet the main ones that want to complain and say that I never talk about these things, they never tend to show up when I do those live streams and when I'm having that educational segment and talking about how those things can be prevented, right? So shout out to the stupid ones out there. And the ones that want to make excuses for why it is that they never saw those videos or those live streams, but magically they caught everything else that they decided that they want to complain about and have a leg to stand on directly on the soapbox. So the thing that I'm going to say is this. I've stated to black women before, and I've tried to make it as clear as possible why the reasons that you guys need to be out here carrying. I clearly made these reasons. I stated too many times before that you got men out here that literally do not care. That's just how it is. They literally do not care. Now, if you're going to say that other men are enabling them to do this, I'm going to do you one better. Because behind every man that is like this, there's always a woman. Let me repeat that one more time. Behind every man that is like this, there is a woman. So let me put it into a better perspective. All of these dudes who commit all of these atrocious acts against women, where they're, either robbing them or assaulting them, they're doing all of the most horrendous and the negative and atrocious things that they can possibly think of and do to women. They have women in their family that are sheltering them, that are harboring them, that are hiding them directly from law enforcement. They have female friends that are harboring them and hiding them and not letting the police know. And these are women that are sitting back and understanding that this dude is a detriment to society, that he is up to no good, that he does not care about the life of a woman at all. But yet they're like, well, I'm an individual, I'm different. Maybe she did something wrong. Maybe she says something XYZ. He more than likely had a reason, right? They're giving a justification as to why it is that men like this are able to do things like this to women. So before we try to get into this pissing match and try to basically say like, oh, this is all men's fault and this is all on men, if the fathers were there, if this and that and all this, before we get into that, I'm just going to say this, from a standpoint of, as I stated before, growing up in a single parent household, not doing any of the things that I've been able to witness or see transpire. So for me, the excuse of, oh, well, the father wasn't there, that's not an excuse as to why it is that in a sense, this person is quote unquote enabled or allowed to do these things. Well, if the father was in a house, or if the brothers were there, if the uncles were there, if black men in the community were there, that is not the case. And I'm just going to make that very clear. You have a lot of guys out here that don't have any of these things, and they don't commit crimes. They don't decide that they want to do anything to black women, such as try to take their lives or harm them or anything of that nature, because a lot of these guys have an understanding of how precious the life is, right? And they learn that by way and through the women that are there. That's how I basically learned that. That's how a lot of other men have also learned that as well. He did this because he wanted to sit up there and do this. He himself has an issue and a problem with women. This is why he got irate, and this is why he felt that he had a reason, a justification to basically pull a weapon out on these two women. And I'm just going to more than likely say more than likely they were black, because he's not going to do this to somebody that is not of his own. That's black people's like MO. 9 times out of 10, black people are not going to try to cause harm to other groups of people. Black people are more armed and more amped when it comes to facing their own. Right? They're all hyperactive. They really want to show off. They really want to mouth off and all that other type of stuff. But when it actually counts, when it comes down to showtime, when you're dealing with a lot of these racist and all of these other types of things, people that actually mean you harm and so on and so on and so on, the same energy that black people give to each other, they don't give that to everybody else. Color me surprised. But that's life. Right? When you are in proximity to your own people, you're going to tend to do the utmost harm. You're going to tend to be less respectful. You're going to tend to do the most disrespectful things. You're going to tend to treat them a certain type of way. You're going to tend to, oh, I'm only going to give you one chance, if not a chance at all. But yeah, you're going to give everybody else that like messed you over 99 something odd chances, and you're going to be turning the other cheek up until you can't find a cheek. And this is exactly what we have here. But yet again, this is why I've told black women so many times that, hey, go out there and learn some self-defense. Hey, go out there and, get some education on firearms training, different things of that nature. I saw a comment before where somebody stated that they have, different types of training and, things still took place. Right. And the main thing I've told people before is like, I understand that nobody's saying that you can be like Batman, that you're going to be prepared for everything, but at least you have something versus nothing at all. And my main thing is I would at least have black women out here at least armed with something versus nothing, because 9 times out of 10, whenever I look and gaze at these stories, I never hear of black women busting back. I never hear of black women defending themselves or breaking somebody's arm, breaking a leg, disabling the person, making sure that they can never sit up there and do this again, turning the tables on the attacker. If I do hear of it, it's a very, 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 very rare chance of it happening. And that's a shame by itself, because how much money black women actually have in order to educate themselves and in order to pour value and resources into themselves so that they can protect the value of their life. But the most interesting thing is that when I bring this up, I get so much pushback where it's like, oh, now the onus is on women to protect themselves from men. This is what I'm talking about with black men. Black men don't even want to protect black women. I'm not exactly sure what exactly, right? As a black man that is in one place, how you want me, or basically expect me to be everywhere all at once, to basically try to protect every single black woman. I'm not sure how or where you expect all the quote unquote good black men out here to be all at once trying to protect black women. Because I'm not sure if people have actually like paid attention, but a lot of good guys are either in the grave or in jail and in prison doing life sentences, because they did what they were supposed to do, quote unquote, protecting a black woman, be it a mother, a sister, a girlfriend, a wife, a fiance, an interest, a best friend, whatever it is. They did what they were supposed to do. And look who's out here telling their story to everybody else. Nobody. Do you think those women are going to carry on the legacy and the story of those men that set up there and risk their lives so that they can sit up there and go out there and get remarried or find somebody else to do the exact? No, they're not. No, they're not. You think those women are going to be visiting those grave sites and telling the kids or whoever's in the family, the young ones, about how great this dude is and what he? No, they're not. They're going to move on with their life and they're going to get married on to the next guy and expect him to do the exact same thing. It's going to be the same exact cycle. But that's that section right there. But the section I'm talking about here is 9 times out of 10 the single black women that are out here that decide to go out in life by themselves. They don't have a man to basically protect them or a man that is near them. So it's basically them versus the world. So usually when it comes to that, anybody with any common sense and intelligence will be like, you know what? I need to prepare myself. I can't prepare or expect to like best every single enemy out here. But at least if it comes time for the showdown, I can do what it is that I need to do. But like I said before, when you just so happen to explain that to black women in a variety of different ways, no matter how you try to explain it, no matter how you try to make people understand that you care, you get demonized for trying to do the right thing and trying to inform. That's like a daughter sitting up there trying to, a father trying to educate his daughter on self-defense, on like boxing and training and taekwondo, krav maga, whatever it is. And she's like, yo dad, why are you sitting up to teach me this? You're supposed to be protecting me my whole life. Why do I need to learn this stuff if you're going to be here to protect me? That's not the point of self-defense, because at some point in time that father ain't going to be there. So what he's doing is basically preparing you so that if there is a point in time that he is not there, that he's not able to defend you, where he can't show up at the drop of a hat, the snap of a finger, the drop of a dime, drop of a pen, that you're able to potentially put up some type of a force, some type of a fight where your life is still going to be here. But like I said before, it is what it is. Some people are, they'll take the information and they'll run with it and they'll, go do what they need to do with their girlfriends and their daughters and their nieces and their granddaughters. And, they'll talk about, training and all this other type of information, and they'll pass it along, which is empowering not only to that person that did it, but it's also empowering to those other women, therefore enabling and building a community of women that are knowledgeable and able to defend themselves, and they're less afraid, because the greatest weapon that a lot of these men have is fear. That's the greatest weapon that they have. Some of these dudes that go after women don't even have weapons. They just have fear. They just have that physical intimidation on women. If women can basically not have that fear, or at least half of it, it's a whole different ball game. And that's all I'm saying. But whatever. So whoever want to roll through the comment section and basically say that, oh, the onus is always on the black woman. We're the least defended. Our own men don't even want to defend us. We got men telling us to defend ourselves and all this other type of stuff. This is why we run to other men, because you guys are useless. And this, so be it. Run to those other guys. Let those community, if you feel that those community men can protect you better, and that they're doing the best and they got the best interest for you, by all means go there. Don't tell me, don't tell us. Go do what it is that you need to do in order to feel safe and protected, because obviously me having a platform, me being a black man, and me trying to give you this information, obviously it don't matter. Obviously I'm not doing what I should be doing, right?